All right. Welcome back and let's talk about books. Ava, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I feel like it's like a new week. I have lots of bookish things going on in my brain, and I'm just excited to be back for another episode.
Have you been having a good reading year so far?
I actually have. As you know, I increased my reading goal a little bit this year,
Mm-hmm.
and I've just like gone into this new year with the mentality that I want to like actively be reading books,
Mm-hmm.
not like have it as like an afterthought. Cause I feel like not last year, but the year before that, I kind of like went into a bit of a book burnout. I set my goal way too high. I read too much where it almost kind of felt like a chore.
Yep.
So last year I went into the year with like ooh, this is a break. I'm gonna like lower my book expectations. And then this year I feel like ready to actually like get back into the
That's
reading
so
grind. You know what I
good.
mean?
I feel like everyone experiences that once in their life when you get like in a really big book role, I
Mm-hmm.
guess. Like you just want to read as much as possible and see like how many you could read in a year. I did that once and I tried to read over 100 books. I know that's not a lot for some people that I've seen on
That's a
Book
lot.
Talk, but it is a lot.
That's a lot.
And at the end, I was just like, it felt like I was giving myself like productivity anxiety
Mm-hmm.
when I wasn't reading because I knew I had to meet this like crazy goal of like over 100 books.
Yeah, I I don't know if I'll ever get to a point in my life where I read 100 books a year because I mean like maybe eventually in the future when I have more downtime and I get to just chill and read books all day. But I feel like, we got other stuff. We're busy ladies,
We're
so we don't
business
have time for that.
women. We have to, put the reading aside
Exactly.
sometimes to do other things.
But yeah, I've been going at the pace of a book a week. And I feel like I would love to keep that going. Obviously, throughout the year, it's still early. Like things may change. I may get overwhelmed or busy with other things, but I would love if I could keep that pace going,
That's
even
a
just like
really
a
good
little bit a
pace.
day?
Yeah, I think one book a week is super healthy. And I think, like, honestly, reading at any level at any time is healthy. If you read one book a year, like, that's good because that's one more book
Mm-hmm.
than wouldn't have read otherwise.
100%.
And I think any reading at any time is good for anybody.
Mm-hmm. I also feel like I've kind of taken on the idea that or just like I've remembered that I don't have to read, like, I don't need like 3 or 4 hours like at a time to read. If I just want to read for like 30 minutes, that's okay. Or if I just read like 10 pages, even, or like 20 pages, that's more than zero. So, like,
No,
yeah,
exactly,
just
right?
do a little bit and it adds up.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does. And it's all about enjoying the story and the book and the journey it takes you on in the
Mm-hmm.
end, right?
But
But you know what? If people do love reading over 100 books
all the
a
power
year,
to you. Like, that's
yeah,
amazing.
freaking do that.
Yeah,
Do that because that's your passion and that's like your escape and that's what you enjoy. Freaking do it.
I agree. But yeah, I have been following your reading progress this year, and there's a couple things that I want to talk about before we get into the meat and potatoes of this episode,
Okay.
which is going to be a fun little bookish this or that segment.
So I decided that to get myself back into the gym, I was going to have a gym book. So we talked in the last episode how we're not going to be afraid to start books now and we're just going to read them instead of putting them off or waiting for the perfect time.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to read Reminders of Him. Now, I have had that saved in my little Kindle library for years. I don't think it's on Kindle Unlimited anymore. I've had that babe locked and loaded for a minute.
It's an
Just wait.
old Kindle relic.
Yes. So she's been waiting for her time to shine. And I almost didn't pick it up. And I said no, because we had talked about reading this so we can discuss it. And also regretting
Mm-hmm.
you. I decided to pick it up because we had talked about reading it. And you said it was one of your favorite books, or at least one of your favorite Colleen Hoover
Mm-hmm.
novels. So I picked it up and holy crap.
Right.
And like I've read a lot of Colleen Hoover. I've read like Ugly Love and Verity and It Ends With Us, like all of her, and this one is something different.
I can't agree more. And as you know, this is my favorite. Honestly, one of my favorite books. Like, and I am not the biggest fan of Colleen Hoover
No.
anymore. I have read a lot of her books because they're great starter books. Reminders of Him is like such a beautiful story, and I connected with it so much. I loved the characters. I loved like the male main character and just like the general themes of it so much. And our two good friends, Hannah and Ireland, both don't like that book, like heavily don't like it. So I was so scared for you to read it, but you loved it. And
I
I was so
loved
happy.
it. And now I have to read Regretting You to actually compare them and see like we might have to like if I do not like this book, I
Mm-hmm.
think we're gonna have to bring them in and do like a 2v2.
I think we could do a whole episode of comparing the two.
Yeah.
So,
Anyways, I absolutely loved Ledger, which is our main male love interest, and Kenna as well. And I
mm-hmm.
think just like her story and her heartbreak, losing Scotty and have it like her emotional trauma and her working through it, and also her being like so down to earth. And I think I used like she wasn't like despite her like really wanting her daughter back. She was
Mm-hmm.
not erratic or irrational. She was just like so level headed the whole time. And I think it makes you like appreciate her as a character and love her and like see why Ledger was immediately attracted to her. And I think the story is just like so moving. And I love her daughter, DM, and just like the whole story about forgiveness and, healing. It was just like I was walking on the treadmill.
You're like,
Like
I want to get off this treadmill.
I was at like incline of like 8, got the 3.5 speed going, almost bawling my eyes out in the middle of the gym.
Right? I cried at that book. And like the moment when she finally does like say like what happened and like she tells like Ledger everything is I was like shook. And yeah, I it's just such a good book and I think it still stands to this day and I honestly feel so validated because I feel like everyone has told me they hate that book and that they think like the male the or like Kenna's like a pick me girl and I don't agree with that. And
No,
I'm pretty harsh on books and characters.
I don't think she was a pick me at all because she was ready to get up and leave, let like Grace and Patrick, which are like the grandparents, like Scotty's parents, and Ledger just like take care of her. She knew her daughter was in great hands, even if she never got to just see her face
Mm-hmm.
physically. She was going
Yeah.
to give it up all, and she did all this. She gave all of her life savings just to like be with her daughter.
No,
She's not
I
pick me at all, and I
yeah.
thought she was so down to earth because like there was a time in the book she was also saying I would always try to put myself in other people's positions and understand where they're coming from. And she's like, if I was Grace, I would hate me too. And I understand that. And she's like, I can't hate them for trying to keep me away from my daughter because I understand from their perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And how, like, that is so brilliant. And she's such an open minded character. Whereas I think, like, most people would go to so many extents. And she even mentioned in the book how she was thinking about just stealing her daughter and running away and just giving her the perfect week just so she could see her face, but she wouldn't do that. She didn't want
Mm-hmm.
to risk it. She was a very like down to earth character. She was a pygmy and all.
I don't think you understand how much this means to me. This is so amazing.
Our friendship has just been solidified.
I can't wait for you to hate regretting you. Just kidding. You can
Next
have your own thoughts on it. I
Next
won't be mad if you
episode
like
when
it.
Michelle hates Regretting You.
I won't be mad if you like it. And you know what? That'd be really cool if you liked both of them because then you could see both sides.
And like I'm a very hard critic of Colleen Hoover too, and I know she's like a pretty problematic author in this time and age as well.
Yeah.
So I like would have been super hard on her,
Mm-hmm.
but this book like hit different.
I'm so excited. And yeah, like I said, when I saw your 5-star review on Goodreads, I literally turned to Dom and I was like, the war is over. The war is over. And I was just like giddy, like kicking my feet. I was like, Michelle loves my book, or one of my favorite books.
I think I had finished it, and like within like 10 minutes, you had texted me and be like, "I saw your review.
No,
We
I
need
was
to
like,
speak
I was
about this."
there. I was silently watching.
Waiting for the day you can strike.
Oh my god. But yeah, okay, amazing. I'm so excited that you love that book, and I'm very interested to see your thoughts on the next.
It's making me feel like
Regretting
I'm
You.
starting off my reading year very well.
Yes.
And then I'm also still working through the Caravel series. I'm almost on the second book,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm feeling like okay about it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So overall, pretty good.
Great job.
What are you reading this week?
So I actually just finished Atmosphere, which is a book that we are going to be buddy reading soon and discussing. So I won't say much about the actual book itself, but I read that. I finished it over the weekend. I have lots of thoughts that I put into my own personal vlog so that I don't forget them when we go back to talk
when
about
you do
them.
that.
But I started a new book this week on Kindle, one that I took your what I took our own embodiment that we said going into the new year about how we're not going to be afraid to read books that we've been wanting to read.
Yeah.
So I opened this one that I have literally been putting off for so long on my Kindle. And I just cuz like it was so long. It's like 750 pages
Mm-hmm.
and it's literally described in the initial paragraph like that the author says like this is a really slow burn, like don't read this if you like instant gratification. Fairy by Veronica Lancet. This is the cover.
Yeah, give me a little.
It's this. I don't know if you've ever seen it before.
No.
So I've seen a little bit about it on TikTok. I honestly haven't heard too much about it. Just like every now and then I'll see a video. But just like the cover enticed me, the description enticed me. It's about this like kind of like spooky town called Fairy in the 1950s, and this
Mm.
girl like goes back for her like long lost father who like died to like get her inheritance kind of. And then all this spooky stuff starts happening. And I'm only like 20% into it cuz it's freaking long, but I'm chipping away at it and I don't know how I feel about it quite yet, so I'll report back.
I feel like a book
I don't think
that's
it's
about
fair to say anything on it
between
yet.
700 and 1,000 pages, you really aren't going to know how you feel about it until you're probably almost like over halfway.
Yeah, and it's interesting that a lot's been going down in these first like 150 pages, but like there's still so much to go. So I'm just like, I don't know where this is going. But yeah, I have a couple thoughts. I don't love all the writing so far, but like I said, I'm only a little bit in, so I need to give it more of a chance to really grow on me. But I am enticed by the story and where this is going. That's what I'm reading. One thing that's been really taking up my mental time and just all of my thoughts this past week is Heated Rivalry. Have you watched Heated Rivalry?
I've only watched the first episode so far. I
You gotta
have
get on that.
been trying to get Logan to watch it with me, so
Mhm.
we're slowly getting there.
I wasn't gonna watch Heated Rivalry because, as you know, that's like not really like cutesy romances with the cartoon cover is not my book really
And I
genre.
always find the book to movie adaptation or like
Bad.
series adaptation is
Yeah.
always so bad.
So I wasn't gonna watch it because I thought it was gonna be cringy, but I was so obsessed with it. I didn't find it cringe at all. I think it's honestly one of the most beautiful love stories I've watched in a long time. Like I watched the whole thing in one night. I binged it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, 6 episodes, so it was like 6 hours of content. I binged it all. I want to rewatch it. I've seen clips on TikTok. I've memorized scenes in my head. It's my new Roman Empire. I gotta read this book because I love this show so much. It's amazing.
I love that so much. I can't wait to
Yeah.
get to that point.
Oh, it's
It's
so
gonna be a slow
good.
burn for me just because I'm trying to watch it with Logan.
Yeah, no, I literally was like, I need to watch all of this right now. And I saw that on TikTok, the Ottawa Senators, I believe, are they're starting to sell like the jerseys of Rosenoff and Hollander. And
Oh
I'm
my
like, how do
gosh.
I buy one of these jerseys?
Next episode when we go to Ottawa.
No, for real. I'm like, I need this. So yeah, that's been taking up a lot of my time. So I might actually have to read the Heated Rivalry series, which is something I never thought I was gonna say.
Oh, love that.
Yeah.
Have you watched People We Meet on Vacation? I
Yes.
have not. But I'm putting it out there. Don't spoil it yet, but it's on my radar.
I watched it with Dom over the weekend actually, because I thought it would be a good movie for us to watch because he likes we just like watching cutesy flicks that aren't that deep, you know.
Yeah,
And I have my thoughts on it. Kind of honestly, the same thoughts I have about the book I have about the movie.
I have a feeling I'm gonna feel the same way.
Definitely watch it. It's just like a good movie to watch. Like it's just like a nice rom com. But I kind of remembered why I
It's a
didn't
little
love the book.
refresher.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are gonna do a bookish this or that. Well, mine are pretty basic, so I'm gonna start with probably one of the oldest questions ever: hardcover or paperback?
Paperback
Paperback.
all the way. Yeah. I mean like a hardback is beautiful. Like just the aesthetic of a
Mhm.
hardcover, especially if it's like a special edition is gorgeous, but the actual logistics of reading a paperback versus a hardcover, I'm choosing paperback every day.
I agree with that.
Need the flop?
I was gonna say you need a good flop, and the
Yeah.
good flop is so satisfying. I feel like I'm gonna pick hardcover. I feel like my fantasies gotta be hardcover.
Yeah.
I don't know why, like a hardcover fantasy, and all my paperbacks have to be like romance or mystery
Mhm.
or like just like normal random lit fic.
Mhm. I like I just find it sometimes difficult to read a
Kate,
hardcover.
does it hurt my
Hurts
hands?
my hands. It's heavy.
Especially when it like digs into like the little crevices right here when you're like holding it for so long and you
Also,
get like, or when your
yeah.
fingers turn black because they get a little sweaty when you I don't know, this is just a me
No,
problem.
I've had
When your
that.
fingers get a little sweaty and you're reading like a black hardcover and then your fingers come black.
Oh my god. Also, I usually take off
Dust jacket.
the dust jacket
Oh, if you
because
read with a dust jacket,
oh hell, torture.
criminal
That thing
offensive side
sliding
eye.
around like
Don't read with a dust jacket. That's terrible.
little, but then I'm worried about getting my book dirty, I will say.
Well,
But
I carry my books around in Ziploc bags, so
but yeah, I'm gonna choose paperback.
okay.
And I actually did have that one, obviously.
I have to say, I probably in this economy, I probably own more paperbacks than I do hardcovers at this point.
They're
But
so expensive
I
too.
love like a big book or like a fantasy and a hardcover.
Okay. I'll also go with a pretty basic one to start us off. Physical books or Kindle books.
That was my next one. So we're on the same wavelength. I have to say physical books. I love a good physical book. I think it hits different. I had a really big like ebook phase, but I've kind of gone off that a little bit. I love ebooks for the convenience of it all. So I'm tired and I could just like tap away, but nothing, nothing touches a torch to a good physical book for me.
I agree, 1000%. I would always choose physical books, but I will say since getting this lovely little
It's
iPad,
really nice.
it's been really nice reading my Kindle books, and that's kind of why I started reading Fairytale on my Kindle because I was like, well, this is a big book that I feel like I can read nicely on my iPad. So
yeah, or like when I'm
yeah.
at the gym cooking, or if I don't want to hold a book and I could stand it up, 10 on 10. Or when I'm traveling,
traveling, big one.
Yeah, it's huge. I'm not going to bring 100 books. So once again, situational, but I think like a good physical book has my heart. As you know, I'm like a book collector too, so I just need the physical copy.
I love the trophy.
And yeah, if I like it on my like Kindle app, it's coming home with me in a physical copy at some point. For some reason, I already have reminders of him sitting in my Amazon cart because I was just like,
and this special edition. It's really pretty.
This was like midway through too. And I found a box set that had Regretting You, Reminders of Him, and what's the other one? Layla?
Oh, Layla. Yeah, that one apparently is strange.
Yeah, but it was a box set, and it was $28 for all three.
Yeah.
And I think it was $18 for the just like paperback version. So I was like,
obviously you're getting that one, yeah.
Annotating, and i.e. tabbing books or in the margins / writing in your books, or pristine pages.
I will choose pristine pages. I have annotated before. I will never write in a book. That's insane. I mean, like, if it's your book and you want to do that, go ahead. I just will never do that. I've thought about it before, but I'm like, I can't bring myself to do it. I don't mind annotating certain books, especially if it's like a really poetic book that I like find a certain sentence that I'm like, wow, that is insane. But do I ever actually go back and look at it? Not really. Unless I reread the book, but I also don't reread books super often. So yeah, I usually just kind of like to live in the moment, as well as also I find that sometimes annotating can like halt you. I just like to continue the flow. So
yeah, I agree. Sometimes I think if you stop too many times, you almost like lose the emotion of a book. But I used to be huge into annotating, not writing in my books, but specifically just tabbing, because I felt like I had so many books where I just like there was so many good lines that I almost wanted to grasp that like quote or that line, and I just like didn't know how, so I just put a sticky note on it. Well, like you said, like will I ever go back and like be like, oh, I'm thinking no.
The only time that I actively like went out of my way to annotate is during our book club. Sometimes I will annotate for book club because if it's like the book that we're all going to be talking about and going back to read it, I will like tab things because I know that will help me at our book club.
I only really heavily annotated, and I mean like ink in a book, was when I was in school, and it was for an academic study. Because if I'm, dissecting Wuthering Heights here, like I need to write things down.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah, but aside from that, as a girl who carries all her bags in a Ziploc bag, books in a Ziploc bag, pristine pages all the way.
Bookmarks or dog-eared pages kind of goes along with that. I'm not hearing my pages.
No, that's another. With people who read with dust jackets on, those are the same people who are probably earing their pages
That's
or
crazy.
using their dust jacket as a bookmark. Those are
Yeah.
crimes.
You can use so many things as a bookmark. Just even a receipt. Like just don't do that to your pages.
No, but
See, I knew that was there's no way you were choosing that. So okay. Single POV or multi POV?
ooh, I feel like I have this one too somewhere. Um, I have to say single.
Mhm.
I think it just like you invest so much in one character and you get so into their story. And we kind of talked about this with the Six of Crows episode too, like how I hated multiple POVs until up until that point when I started reading Six of Crows. But I think I gravitate more towards just a single POV. But if there is a multiple POV that is really well written, like Six of Crows or like Throne of Glass, then I'm all for it.
Mhm. I honestly don't know which one to choose on this one because I like single POV for everything you just said. Like I really connect with a character and I do have a troubles connecting with side characters a lot of the time. But like a good multi POV is life changing.
It is.
So I don't know. I might go multi on this one, which is kind of I didn't think I was gonna choose that, but I feel like I gotta. My favorite books are multi POV, so
That's more than fair.
I think I'm gonna go with that. All right, what's your next one?
Um, Standalone novels or long series?
That's my next one. We're literally
We
having the
share
exact same in
a brain.
order.
No, seriously, we're going. I'm like, oh, I'll skip that one. You just wrote that. You just have that one down.
Okay, this one's also really hard because I see the beauty of both of them. Like a good standalone book is nice. It's like you're one and done. You've experienced this universe and now you're going on to something else. But a series is like again, life-changing. A good series like you're so in it and you learn so much about the world.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'll go series. I feel like again, some of my favorite books are series.
Yeah,
So,
I think I'm gonna go series too. I think
mhm.
the emotional impact of a series is like I'm not saying that a standalone can't do that, but standalone will
You
like
have more time to build
scratch
on
my
it.
back
Yeah,
versus like a long series is like a massage, you know?
I agree. Okay, another kind of similar like POV question, but third person or first person?
I feel like I have this one too. I'm gonna say first person.
Yeah,
I think it's just more intimate. I think you get really invested in it. It just, I don't know, it's more emotional. It hits better for me.
I agree. I think I'm also going to choose first person. I don't mind a third person. I feel like some people hate it. I've literally seen people on TikTok say that if they start reading a third person book, they'll just put it down, which that's crazy. But I do think that a first person's fun because you're more in their thoughts versus like seeing what happens as the scene plays out. So
Mm-hmm.
I agree. All right.
Um, do you gravitate towards more fantasy worlds or realistic fiction?
Mm, Probably fantasy worlds. I like when things are not real. Like I like a made up world. I think it's really fun to be like transported somewhere else. Even if it's not full on like fantasy, if it's just like something unique in the world that is not in this world. You know, like I think that it's fun to kind of escape into something else. So
No,
I would probably go with that.
I fully agree. And I feel like up until up until a certain point too, specifically since we started our book club, which we're almost on 3 years,
Crazy.
I really mostly gravitated towards romance and lots of fantasy. And now I find that we're reading a lot more realistic fiction, a lot more like thrillers and mysteries and more real world stuff, which I
Mhm.
absolutely love. But I still think I gravitate more towards fantasy because I
Mhm.
love that escapism and that kind of adventure and such a nice brain break to get out of like the real world.
See, and it's like it's almost a hard question for me too because I feel like or like a couple years ago I would have 1000% without a doubt said more fantasy world, but I've been kind of on my like classic literature and like just general fiction vibe lately, and I feel like I do like a real world book as well because it does, it's there's something to be said about a story being told in our world as well. And so you get to see like real perspectives of other individuals just living their life kind of thing. But like I said, for the fun of it, I like a whole other world.
Yeah.
Okay, this one I'm interested to see your answer. But movie adaptation or TV adaptation of a book?
Mm, I'm going to say movie adaptation. I feel like every time there's like a TV series, it just like really bunks up the whole rendition of the book. There's like really
Yeah.
not a good time I could say like this TV series was so good.
Mm-hmm.
I've had like Harry Potter.
Mm-hmm.
That is a
Hunger
perfect Hunger
Games.
Games are perfect examples or of like a great book to movie adaptation. But I can't think of a single series that's like really that I could be like, yeah, this is okay.
The
Mine
Shadowhunters series.
was and the movie was bad.
Better,
The movie was
but
bad, but it was way
it's
better
better
than
than
this
the
TV
yeah.
series. Did I watch the whole series on like
I
on
did.
Netflix or whatever? Absolutely, but it was terrible.
That show is my ultimate guilty pleasure. Like, it's so bad, but I still love it because it's so bad.
It's terrible. And like that series had so much potential. Or like when in the Six of Crows series, when I was talking about how they did like the Shadow and Bone, like Six of Crows crossover Netflix thing, and it got really like weird.
Yeah.
I had friends say like they just like didn't enjoy because they thought it had so much potential. Was it still like well made? Yes, but it had questionable things too.
Yeah.
Now, Heated Rivalry. This could be like the one saving grace for like book to
Yeah.
TV shows, but besides that, like I have nothing good to say about book to TV series.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I think I'll agree with you. Like, I think generally movie adaptations historically are just better. But my brain did drift to Heated Rivalry, and I think that's recency bias. But damn, that was a good show. And that's where it was done well, where it was like it was broken up. And I think it's actually two books that it covers in the whole show. Actually, I think it covers three because technically there's, I think, two books about Ilya and Shane, and then there's one book about Scott and Kip. I don't think you've gotten to that part yet, but there's an episode where it gets to another couple.
Ooh,
And I think it's in total three books in one show. So like I think
interesting.
that worked because they had so much content to work with. But yeah, if I'm thinking big picture like the Hunger Games series, like and Harry Potter, like movies for sure.
Okay, are we more of a fast paced thriller or slow burn drama?
Fast paced thriller.
Fast paced thriller.
I think, I mean, if it were just like, it depends on the story, obviously, but if just like if we're going off just tropes like that, probably fast paced thriller.
So you would prefer it kind of like the ball's always rolling, or do you prefer like any time where there's like kind of like slow and it's like slowly dropping you like little puzzle pieces to like figure it out at the end?
See, when you put it like that, like I do like that too, but I do really enjoy when it's like I'm getting whiplash because everything, like I just like did not expect any of this to happen.
I think when you run through a book so quickly too, I think it gives it like a whole
Yeah.
other enjoyable experience.
Like the book that comes to mind when I say fast paced thriller is The Midnight Feast by Lucy Foley.
Yeah.
I read, bless you.
Thank you.
I read that last year and it was so good. And yeah, like just the amount of twists and turns that happened were insane. I was getting whiplash the whole time because it was like just constant like twist after twist.
Maybe that'll be my next gym book
So good.
because I bought it for $2.99 when it
Mhm.
was on sale,
Fast paced. You'll read it like you just did with Reminders of Him, like
and I'll
so
be on the
fast.
treadmill going reading my book.
It's like White Lotus vibes.
Ooh, I
Yeah.
love that.
It's like very similar where it's like almost like a cast of people and they all have their secrets and they're at this like resort like retreat. So it's very similar to like White
Ooh,
Lotus vibes.
I love that.
Hmm.
I'm also trying not to read the same genre at the same time.
Hmm.
So I've been trying to keep my gym book separate from my like physical like home book.
Hmm.
So I think that would be a good one to start.
I recommend it.
Or Hello Beautiful.
Oh, I rated both of those books 5 stars. So that's really hard. But I mean, Hello Beautiful was one of my top books of the year. If not my top, no, it was my top book, but it was one of them. So I would say that's my favorite. But if you want a fast paced
Is Hello
thriller,
Beautiful gonna make me cry?
yeah,
Okay,
probably.
so
Maybe it's not a gym book.
yeah, you know what? It could still be a gym book, but I just had like kind of like a weepy book, and I don't like the same like
Yeah.
genre feeling twice.
You're not going to cry at the Midnight Feast. You're going to be like jaw on the ground, though.
I'll be like running on
Yeah.
the treadmill probably. I'll be so
You're running
scared.
up that hill.
Okay. Do you like it when the love interest gets together quickly slash like kind of almost insta love, or do you like a slow burn?
Slow burn for
Slow burn,
sure.
because we love a man who yearns.
I we love a man who yearns. Exactly. I honestly I don't like when they instantly get together. It can be done well. In some books I have read where it does work and then it's like setting the tone kind of nicely. But just like in general, I love yearning. I love like the art of telling romance not just through physical attraction, like also through like, a stolen glance across the room and like a graze of the hands, like
Or when they're just being kept apart and they almost
yeah.
like it kind of like sense each other's feelings. They know they want to be with this other person and there's just something keeping them apart.
Mhm.
And then when they finally get together and it's like this big like explosion, I think that is so worth the wait.
Okay. Golden retriever boyfriend or shadow daddy?
Shadow Daddy.
Obviously.
And as somebody who has a golden retriever boyfriend, I'm not speaking from personal experience, but as a book boyfriend, I love a good shadow
And you know
daddy.
what? In real life, no one wants a shadow daddy in real life. Like the like problematic kings, get out of here.
The
You know what I
shadow
mean?
daddy's not gonna wash my car for me and
No.
do my load of laundry.
No. No, no, no. In
No.
real life, you want a golden retriever, but in your fantasy books, you want a shadow daddy.
We love a golden retriever who can maybe be a shadow daddy, like in spirit sometimes.
I feel like Dom's a mix of both. I don't know. He's
Yeah.
like dark and stormy, but also like the sweetest guy once he opens himself up. You know?
He's like a border collie.
Exactly. Yeah. Like you gotta get in there. You know.
Okay, happy ending or heartbreaking ending?
Oh my god. Honestly, heartbreaking ending. Not gonna lie. Like, obviously, I want my characters to be happy and live happily ever after, but a heartbreaking ending just is the embodiment of like what storytelling is, in my opinion.
When you close a book and you're just like you take that breath and you're like a little teary eyed and you're
Yeah.
like, whoa. I wish I would like to say happy ending that's also heartbreaking a little bit is my cup of tea, but that's not how the
Yes.
game is played.
Yes.
So I'm gonna have to say, you know what, heartbreaking ending.
I just like it, and I'll pick a book depending on what I want. Like if I'm gonna pick a cutesy romance, if I want a happy ending, because I know there's gonna be one. You
Or they're
know.
gonna end up together and they're gonna save
Exactly.
the local bake shop and everything's gonna be fine.
But just like thinking of my favorite books that have like impacted me to my core, almost all of them have some element of a sad ending. And
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, I agree. When there's like a little bit of like hope or peace, but like also tragedy, that's the best.
That
But
is so well put.
yeah,
Hope or peace, not
yeah.
necessarily happiness or like kind of like a cookie cutter ending.
Hmm. Okay. This one I'm interested to hear because of your educational background.
Oh,
New releases or classics?
I think I'm gonna lean towards new releases.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I enjoy how easy they are and relevant to my current
Mm-hmm.
present. I really appreciate the classics, and I think it's so funny how they teach us the same things in life that we experience now.
Mm-hmm.
And they're hundreds of years old and they still are spitting like the same facts about love and loss and happiness, but I think enjoy being in that present time like a little bit more. But I have read so many classics that I think maybe I'm just like past that period in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Also, someone like
Yeah.
forcing you basically at gunpoint to write like hundreds and thousands of words on these and study them like day in and day out might have ruined it a bit for me.
I would imagine
But like
so.
I do still appreciate like a good classic.
Yeah. No, I mean, I only took one um English class in university and I dropped it in the second day because they said I had to write 6 essays and read 4 books and 2 Shakespeare plays in one class on top of all my other classes. And I was like, I'm not going to do that. So the fact that you went through a whole degree of that, hats off to you.
And they make you talk
You
about
can't
it
even enjoy
in
it.
small group
Yeah.
settings, and lots of the time you don't even really know if you're getting it or not, and everyone's just talking and you're just it was years
Yeah.
of embarrassment, I think, for me. So maybe that's
I
like
don't blame you at all.
some like echoes of PTSD.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do love a good classic.
And I
But
agree with you. I'm gonna go new releases as well. I do enjoy a classic. I think it's fun, and I do think it's like learning and like gaining insight into like these like huge historical pieces of literature, you
Yep.
know? And I can gain a lot from them and I do enjoy reading them, but sometimes it's also like it's work reading them sometimes, like to
Yep.
decipher what's going on and what they're saying.
Mhm.
So it's there's a time and place for it and I have a great appreciation for it, but new releases for sure. For
Yeah.
just like fun vibes.
And,
Yeah.
like, can I nerd out for a second here?
Yes.
I love classics because they are, like, little historical pieces, and I took so many classes that studied the historical context of these novels, and even I did a class on the architectural pieces in these novels. So, like, what does this window mean, or this door frame, or like when people are standing in a certain space or like using furniture. It was cool. But I think you just get to learn so much about it's you time travel and you learn about history. And can I just say that the Victorians were like some of the coolest people, and but also some of the most whack ass people ever. They read some of the best literature, but also did like the most like unhinged things.
I honestly regret not doing more English in university because now I wasn't on that path back then, but now I am on that path. And as a writer, I'm like, damn, I should have taken a freaking writing course. Like, but we're
Yeah.
teaching ourselves, you know?
You know what? And sometimes that's okay too.
Yeah. What's your next one?
Are you a person that can only read one book at a time, or can you juggle multiple books at the same time? I feel like I know the answer to
Yeah.
this, but like, do you have a preference even? Because I know you have juggled multiple books, but like, do you have a preference?
One book at a time. I almost never read two books at a time. I have before. I just don't do it very often because I just like, I don't know, if I'm in one book, I'm in it. And there has been some times where it's like I have a Kindle book and a physical book, but rarely. And the only other time I can think of is I was reading a heavy classic at one time and I just like needed something in
Like,
between,
like
you
a
know?
palate cleanser, little
Yeah.
sorbet.
But one book overall because I just like think about it and I need to finish it.
No, I am the exact same way.
Hmm.
I think it just hits better. I think if you read one book, and some people can read multiple books and like I don't know how they do it. And
Hmm.
they get so into it and I feel like it slows me down too if I read multiple
Yeah.
books. Like I feel like I'm just being slow at all of the books instead of reading like one book at like a good pace.
Yeah. My friend Cole, he like will literally read multiple books at the same time, like 5 or 6 open at one time,
Cool.
and I'm just
What
like,
are you doing?
how do you even keep track of what's going on?
You know what? I think I was watching the summer I turned pretty
Hmm.
and reading a Emily Henry book.
Mm,
And for some reason that confused all the plots in my brain.
they're too similar.
They're too similar.
Hmm.
Just summer happening romance things. And so I don't know how people can read like multiple books or multiple books in the same genre.
Has to be at least like a different vibe.
Either they have some sort of extra level of intelligence that I will never like accomplish in my entire life, or
I think it's just a neurodivergent thing.
I'm not there.
Friends to lovers or enemies to lovers,
Enemies to lovers.
of course, of
I
course.
love it. I think it just hits better. I think it's like the yearning, the intensity, the I hate you, but I love you. Friends and Lovers
Hmm.
is like,
Boring.
yeah, and it's like I loved her for 4 score and 10 years ago when I had acne, and she still hasn't noticed me, and we've been friends forever.
No,
And
honestly, I don't love the trope of like, oh, I don't want to ruin our friendship. Like,
yeah,
and like you're acting like you can't be friends when you're dating. Like, your
yeah,
best friend is
Art,
supposed to be your partner. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Like, I agree. Enemies to lovers, as long as it's an actual enemies to lovers, it's not just like I hate you, but I actually love you so much. You know,
yeah.
we've
Where
talked
it's
about that many times.
many a
But
time.
outdoor summer reading or cozy fireplace reading.
Ooh, that's a hard
Really,
one.
I thought it was gonna be like just an easy pick. I'm gonna go outdoor summer reading.
I think I'm doing the same. I
Hmm.
think specifically when I had a really good outdoor space in my where I lived last, I would spend, and this is when I didn't have as much full-time jobbing and life things, but I would spend almost all day every day outside sitting under like my canopy with my like zero gravity chair. I get
Oh
a little
yeah.
set up. I would set up and I would park outside for like almost an entire day, like every day.
Hmm.
and the breeze, the fresh air, like reading,
Vibes.
oh,
Capital
or like reading
vibes.
on a dock outside.
Yeah. I in the summer, I call it my mental health time, and I'll literally like make it a point in the summer, if it's not a nice day out, to like go sit on my balcony, put my bathing suit on, and just like tan for even if it's like an hour, like before work or something. Just like go sit outside, read my book, and vibe. And that's just like what I look forward to every year is sitting outside and
And
tanning
that's good for your
and
mental health.
reading.
Vitamin D, fresh
Mm-hmm.
air, a little book, a little you time. Exactly what the doctor ordered. Okay, finish a bad book or DNF,
Mm,
no guilt.
good one. I I can honestly think of maybe one book I've DNF'd in my life, and I can think of a lot of books that I don't like. So I always will finish books to give them a proper shot, and then I can respectfully hate them.
I think that's more than fair.
You
And I
know?
think my grandma like embedded that to me too. Like you never know when it's going to get good.
Mhm. And there
So,
has been books where I've like gotten to like the last three quarters and liked the ending. So like, and yeah, like I don't think that's an overall good book if you didn't like most of it, but still, like it can have a turning point.
no, I agree. And I recently um recommended the Shepherd King series One Dark Window and Two Twisted Crowns to a coworker, and she was just telling me how much she was hating it.
Huh?
I
Huh?
know. So I was like, I don't know if I can be friends with this girl
Girl,
anymore,
what?
for one. But she started to get through a little bit more into Two Twisted Crowns, and she was like,
Wait.
statement redacted. She was like, this is actually so good.
But it took to get to Two Twisted Crowns for her to think that?
I don't want to talk about it.
I
But
like the first one better.
yeah, I think she's just like, she kind of liked the first one and then was like kind of hating the second one, but she rebounded.
Rachel
I,
Gillig is quaking somewhere right now.
I think, yeah, I think your life just felt, I don't know. But anyways, we're not going to delve too into that. I had a screenshot of a Teams message that I almost sent to you immediately
You should have.
because I was like,
I would have
I was
came to your
gasping for
workplace.
breath. I like banged down the door, like, who is it? So,
That's crazy.
but
But okay.
that is, I guess, an example of giving a book a shot till farther in.
I'm guessing you're the same, right? You're actually what's your take on
I
this?
don't think I've ever, maybe I've DNF'd one book in
Mm-hmm.
my entire life, but like I said, my grandma taught me gotta go all the way to the end and then give her a fair shot. You never know when it's gonna get good.
Miscommunication tropes or right person, wrong time tropes. Like which one you hate more or which one you like would rather read? Because they're both
Miscommunication I
kind of like meh.
hate the most.
Yeah.
I think just being everyone being like, oh, like not knowing what's going on, like, oh, like it's no. You're being stupid. And I hate stupid people and bugs, you know?
Oh my god.
Like I feel like that's why Reminders of Him was so good because Kenna wasn't being stupid or be
Mm-hmm.
like if she was a pick me, she would have been like,
She's being pretty
oh, like
direct, honestly, about what she
yeah.
wanted. She wanted her daughter, and she wanted Ledger after.
She was straight up. There was no miscommunication. She
Mm-hmm.
was to the point and she was like, I've been in prison, like it is, you know?
So then you're gonna go with right person, wrong time. Mm-hmm.
Yes. And I think there's always like a right person, wrong time moment in life. Same with books. I think there's right book, wrong time situation too. Are you a short chapter gal or a long immersive chapter gal?
Oh, short chapters
Amen.
for sure. The book I'm reading right now, Fairy one of the hardest parts about it is that the chapters are so long.
Just feels better. I could still immerse myself.
Yeah.
Give me like 3-page chapters and I'll feel like I'm blowing through that book. Like it's just a
Yeah.
feeling. It feels
It's like
better.
30 minutes for me to read one chapter in this book, which is like fine, but it's like, oh my
You know when you
god.
like check the time on
Yeah.
your chapter on like your Kindle app and it says like 20 some minutes and you're like all of a sudden I don't want to read this
I need some
anymore.
instant gratification. Just
No.
get me to the next chapter.
I want every chapter to take me 2 minutes to read. Are you a late night reader or an early morning reader?
Early morning, like on a weekend, I love getting up and starting the day with reading. I did that this weekend and it was just lovely, drinking a coffee and reading. I don't do that very often though, because I usually have something going on in the morning, whether it's like getting up and writing or going to work or, but so I usually end up writing or reading at night. But if I could choose, I'll choose morning.
I agree. It's
Mm-hmm.
really nice to have a slow morning and be able to read a book and have a coffee and start your day off because sometimes I like end start to end my day and I'm like I never got to read or like had enough time in the day to like sit down and enjoy a book, you know?
Mhm. And usually when I'm reading at night, I'm sleepy. Like my eyes are
Yeah,
kind of
I feel like I
hurting.
just like can't read as much
Yeah.
too, and
So yeah, morning, I would say.
agree.
Now I'm going to get into a little bit more specific
Okay.
ones. So I'm going to say Gillian Flynn or Frida McFadden. And for those of you who don't know, Gillian Flynn is like the Gone Girl, Dark Places, Sharp Objects lady. And then Frida McFadden is obviously the kind of the queen of like thriller right now. Like she just pumps out those thriller books. The Housemaid, The Inmate, The Boyfriend.
It's really crazy too. I'm really interested by her because like she's an actual doctor. And she
I
goes
don't know
under
how
like
she'd done
her
that.
pseudonym and she wears like a wig and glasses when she does interviews. Like she's
That's
kind of like a Clark Kent of like authors, which is
interesting.
really interesting. So I think I'm gonna say Frida because I think I just enjoy how fast paced and simple they are.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not necessarily I'm saying her books are better than Gillian Flynn because I really appreciate the small details that Gillian puts into her books. I think her like thrillers are really intricate, whereas Frida's are really like fast paced and
Mm-hmm.
like maybe not as like detail oriented. But I think Frida's like scratches something in my brain where I like when they're fast and I could just get through them
Mm-hmm.
quickly. I feel like you're gonna say Gillian Flynn.
I think I will say Gillian Flynn. I love her books. I just like how like diabolical they are, honestly. I don't dislike Frida McFadden, but I have only read I guess I've read 3 of each of their books. Um, but I just like I don't know, I feel like I'm always wanting more out of the Frida McFadden books.
No, that's actually super fair.
You know?
I feel like I've had a couple books that I've read by her recently that kind of been busts for me.
Mhm.
So I'm kind of in my like Colleen Hoover, like Frida McFadden phase
Yeah.
almost, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. I yeah, but
They're good for like a throw like if you just want a quick thriller,
yeah,
just pick up a Frida McFadden. Yeah.
I haven't read enough Gillian Flynn. Like I've only really read Dark Places and I listened to Gone Girl as an audiobook for our book
Mhm.
club and I just like did not enjoy the audio reading. So I
Mhm.
think that's why I have such a bad feel like negative feeling towards Gone Girl. I feel like if I gave her a more of a significant chance, I feel
Mhm.
like maybe Gillian Flynn would be my go-to, but I'm just not there yet.
I was just trying to think of like 2 heavy thriller
And I feel like
ladies.
for book like we've read a lot of Gillian Flynn, so it's like a
Mhm.
good one because we've been doing a lot of her for book club. And we haven't done
Yeah.
any Frida actually. I feel like we've stayed away from
Mm.
her.
I think The Boyfriend was in a poll one time, but it never got picked.
And then I ended up getting that for our white elephant for our
Yes.
Christmas book exchange.
It's fine.
And it was fine.
It's fine.
It was like a solid 3, I
I feel like
think.
my favorite Frida remains The Housemaid,
Yeah, and I
honestly.
feel like nothing tops it.
I feel like that was probably her best one. I don't know if she put more time into it or something, but I feel like it was more well-rounded versus like I said, a lot of the other ones that she does. I feel like I'm wanting more.
Or it's just like the endings I find just like don't do it for me.
Mhm.
Even like I was really enjoying the teacher for a bit and then like the ending was kind of like, oh,
Mhm.
okay.
All right, what's your next one?
Ooh, here is a good one. The love triangle trope or found family trope.
Oh, those are so different.
I know.
Oh, that's like not fair.
Pick
um,
one.
I'm gonna go found family. Honestly, like I love a good love triangle, don't get me wrong, but sometimes a love triangle pisses me off. Like, especially also, I only like love triangles if it's 2 guys and a girl. 2 girls and a guy, bleh,
Blech. Get it
disgusting.
off my page.
Disgusting. Get
I
away from
want
me.
two men fighting over
No,
a lady.
exactly.
First person POV, two men duking
No.
it out.
No, no, yeah, no. And a found family is just so like if it's done well, so heart touching. Like it just
Six of
yeah,
crows.
6 of Crows. I'm thinking like Throne of Glass. I'm thinking just like just I don't know, just like such good vibes. And even like House in the Cerulean Sea. I know you haven't read that book, but like beautiful found family. Ugh, yeah, just like pulls on my heart. So I'm gonna go with that.
Amen.
hmm Another specific one. This one I'm really interested to see what you say. Sarah J. Mass or Cassandra Clare. I was intentionally being diabolical with this one because I know that you love both of these ladies.
Mm.
And they're both like, they have such heavy like fantasy series. I thought they were kind of on the same level.
Oh, damn. I think I have to say Sarah J. Maas. Specifically, though, not for Court of Thorns, but for Throne of Glass and the Crescent City series, I
Mm-hmm.
think moved me so much. I love the Shadowhunter series so much, but I feel like it just doesn't top what she did in those two series I've mentioned.
And I've only actually read the OG Shadowhunters series. I haven't read any of the spin-offs, so I need to get on that.
And arguably, I think like the spin-offs are almost better.
That's crazy because I love the OG so much. So I
I
need
know.
to get it. But I have heard that before that those ones are better. So
And they're a
I need
nice,
to
like
get on
crispy,
it.
like 3 book series.
Mark my words, in 2026, I will read the Clockwork Angel series. I
You heard it.
promise.
Clip that.
Mark my words. It'll be happening at some point because like I've owned the books for a while. I've been wanting to read them. So your turn.
Are we a person who would prefer a villain you love or a hero with flaws?
Villain that I love.
I'm the same way. I appreciate a hero that has flaws because I think that really speaks to, how we're all human and people can make mistakes. But like, I love a villain that has kind of like a redemption arc.
Period. I just like I don't know. I feel like a villain. I just love seeing a POV of a villain, especially if they have like cracks of not being a villain or if you can even like empathize with how they became a villain. That I love because that's what makes a good villain is if you honestly can see where they're coming from, you just know that they're doing it all they're going about it the wrong way.
Damn
So,
straight.
yeah. Taylor Jenkins Reid or Abby Jimenez. I tried to pick one from each category. So I did like thriller and then fantasy and now I'm in the romance.
I think, oh, Ireland's going to kill me for this one, but I want to say Abby Jimenez. I just love how they make me feel. I also feel like I haven't read any Taylor Jenkins Reid in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've only really read Seven Husbands and Daisy Jones and the Six. Carrie Soto is on my queued up. I also got that one for $2.99. But yeah, I just feel like, but I love them both for different things too. I think
Yeah.
they're just like both very different books in my mind
Yeah.
and like genres.
Ireland is also going to hate me, but I'm definitely picking Abby Jimenez. I love Taylor Jenkins Reid, but I will say, and I feel like we'll talk about this more when we review Atmosphere. I don't know if I quite connect to her as much as other people, but Abby Jimenez, I don't know what it is with that lady, but I am right there with her. Like I just like feel her words on a deep level. She's the only person that makes cutesy romance actually worth reading for
Like
me. Like,
bearable.
yeah. And yeah, I don't know. I just like literally like I just can't get over her books. And I feel like I've read about the same amount of each of them. Well, I read just Atmosphere just now. I read Seven Husbands. I read Malibu Rising. And I think that's it of hers. I have not read Daisy Jones and the Six, but that one has been on my TBR for a long time. And Carrie Sato is back. Honestly, I don't have any interest in reading that book. I've heard it's really good, but I read Malibu Rising and Carrie Sato is in that book as a character and I freaking hated her. So I'm like, I don't want to read a book dedicated to her.
This is like the whole Nesta thing all over
Yeah.
again
But I've heard it's a really good book. So like maybe eventually, but I just
for the right
that's a
price.
hard one for me to get on. And I
That's
did
fair.
find it at the thrift store once and I passed it by because I was like, I don't want to read her book. So yeah, I'm going Abby. Sorry, Taylor.
It's fair. Matching book covers or mixed editions?
Matching.
It's gotta be matching.
Totally. My final bookish this or that for you, which is a very important one, I feel, and I'm very curious to see what you're going to choose, is Harry Potter or Twilight,
Damn. Book-wise?
book-wise, since we're
Twilight.
talking bookish. Yeah?
Twilight. That moved me. It moved me as a young adult. I will never feel that way again. So the answer is Twilight.
Mm-hmm.
I think the love story, I think the adventure, I think like the death defying moments of it all and kind of like her emotional transition through her young adulthood and mortality and immortality was just so good. I love Harry Potter for so many different reasons, and I actually only read it when I was an adult. Like I never read
Mhm.
it as a kid. So it was like years after I'd even read Twilight. And I think it's so magical, but for some reason I love Stephanie Meyer's writing so much.
Mhm. I mean, I don't think I'm the right person to answer this because I have not read Twilight. I've seen all the Harry Potter movies and the Twilight movies multiple times. Big fan of both. I have read all the Harry Potter books, but I have not read Twilight. So I don't have the full. It's again 2026. I'm reading Twilight. Maybe I'll put it as our book club romance book, but some of you guys have read it, so it's hard. But
But you know what? I would reread it, and I know Caitlin would reread it.
yeah, maybe we'll see. But I'm gonna go Harry Potter books just because I've read them and I love those books. And I honestly think the Harry Potter books are so much better than the movies. As much as I love the movies, the books are better. But I need to read the Twilight books to actually get a full scope on that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, this is kind of a random one, but are you a diehard spoiler-free reader, or are you someone that would like need to know if the character survives, or like do a little like dive in to some
It
rereading?
does depend. I have been known to be both, but I'll say probably I'm okay with a spoiler. I don't hate it. I have read multiple series, watched many shows and movies knowing spoilers, and sometimes it actually makes me want to see it more because I'm like, oh, I want to see how that happens or how we get to that point. But like, I also love not knowing certain things, but it just like the curiosity in me always wins.
Do you ever like read a book and like someone dies and they're like, did they really die? And I'm like, I
Yes.
need to know now, or I can't read this book anymore.
The biggest actually example of that is not from a book, but from a show. When I watched Jane the Virgin, have you ever seen that show?
Yes, I have.
When she's like going back and forth between I forget the two main characters' name, Raphael and the other guy.
Golden Retriever
Yeah,
Man.
Golden Retriever, Shadow Daddy. She's going back and forth between the two. And I honestly, I was like, I cannot. I need to know who she ends up with. Like, I need to know. I can't handle this anymore. And I found out, and I was shocked when I looked it up. But then
Then you're like, I
I was
have to
like, I
watch to see how
understand.
it
Yeah,
gets there,
exactly.
right?
And I was like, I want to see how we get to this point. So, any other standout ones?
Books that make you cry or books that make you laugh? Which one?
Cry.
Cry. You
Yeah,
prioritize that.
I would. I mean,
I
I like
only
laughing,
ask
but
because I feel like you're in your Abby Jimenez era right now, and I feel like she is someone who makes you laugh.
yeah. Honestly, I do love it, but I feel like that's not why I read them. I read them because they're like so touching and a beautiful story. The funny is just a bonus. Like that's just fun, but I feel like I seek out books more for the moving elements versus the funniness. But yeah, what about you?
I think cry.
Mhm.
I think some of my favorite books have always made me cry.
Mhm.
And then here's my last one. I'll finish on this one. Are you like a girl who can reread a book like a lot, like a bunch of times, even like a favorite book? Or are you just like always someone who has to read something new? And like once you've like read it, is it kind of like dead to you or
Oh, that's hard too because I used to reread books all the time. When I was younger, I literally would just circle through like my favorite books
you
over
comfort
and
books?
over.
Yep.
But now that I've gotten older, there's just so many books that I want to read and it's just never ending. Like I there's so many stories, so many things I've been on my TBR that I'm always like wanting to not waste time, even though it's not wasting time even if you reread something. I just like don't want to I want to like keep going. I want to like learn more and read more. But there has been books like that I've wanted to reread, like Reminders of Him, like Throne of Glass, and I'm like, I love that book so much. I want to relive it. But I would say now I'm more of a move on to the next book kind of person. But I'm a big like rewatcher and revisitor in general. Like I only really watch TV shows that I've seen before.
Fair.
Yeah.
That's so fair. I think if I was 10 years younger and I was that Michelle, I would have said reread books because I like you. I feel like I was like in my Twilight, Hunger Games,
Shadowhunters.
Shadowhunter, like emotional cycle, and then I would like maybe put some other stuff in there, and then I'd look at my thing. I'm like, I haven't read this book in a really long time, or I kind of forgot the plot, and I would like pick it up and read it again.
Mhm.
Plus, I had like low funds. I had no adult money, so I couldn't like I was just
Yeah. You're
reading what I
cycling through.
had,
Yeah.
right? And but now, like you said, there's so much to read in so little time, and TBRs and
And
book
book club. Yeah.
book club and book talk and bookstagram and all these. I get so influenced, and like there's, I think, like, literature is being so mass produced now by so many people. It's just like, how do you even,
Mhm.
reread something?
There's
I
so
there's
much to
not.
read in so
Yeah,
little
unless
time.
I was a full-time reader, someone sponsor me.
The dream.
Yeah, it's just like it's impossible now almost.
Yeah. I agree. And like I'll eventually get back to rereading some of my favorites, but for now I just like there's so many things that I want to explore. So
I
we're
agree.
gonna moving
And
on.
I will reread a book sometimes if I'm reading a sequel and I'm like, I have no idea what happens and I really want to read this before going into the next
Hmm.
one. Aside from that,
See, I almost never do that. I always will like just look up a summary or something because I'm like, again, I'm just like I just want to read other books,
sometimes
but
I just want to be re-immersed like back into the world, And
it
sometimes when
is,
you
yeah.
drop yourself right back in after like 25 battles, 10 balls, and like one like death-defying kiss, like I might need to revisit before we get into the sequel.
I do kind of want to reread When the Moon Hatched before I read the sequel that's coming out, I think in March. That's soon, so I gotta get on it.
And
But
she's a big
it's a
girl.
big book, but it's so good. So I almost want to read it again because I just want to like remember all the details of it because I loved it so much.
Immerse yourself,
I feel
girl.
like I have to. I feel like that one I have to reread. And now I have like 3 copies of it because I have the beautiful one that you got me, which I'm not gonna read that one because it's too beautiful to like crack
Uncracked.
that spine. But I have the like the regular version of it, paperback, that I got for $10. And then I also have it on my Kindle. So I'm like, I have 3 versions of it. We should reread it.
I think that's fair.
But yeah.
A read for every version.
Yeah. What's your next read?
So I want to finish Legendary, which I think I'm just under 100 pages. And then I do want to read the third book, which is Finale, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to keep the momentum for this series. This series is not groundbreaking for me by any means, but I
Mm-hmm.
do want to finish it because I feel like I've had the books for so long.
Totally.
Midnight Feast, I think will be like my next gym book, and then I do, depending on how I feel with that, I think I'm gonna cycle in Atmosphere because I do want to
Mm-hmm.
kind of keep the momentum and read it close to when you've read it because I don't want to wait too long and have me read it like 2 months after you finished it. So
I love it. That's a good lineup. I'm
yeah,
excited.
and then you have your super mega long
Ugh.
chapter
Yeah.
Fairyland Miss Queen book.
I feel like that's only like that's the one that we got going right now is Fairy Tale. I don't really have one lined up for after because it's that's gonna take me at least a week probably.
Do you have an
At
idea of
least.
what you want to like queue up at all?
I have so many
Or
ones that
like
I want to
a,
queue up.
a top like three maybe you just kept like having like kept saying like I'm gonna read this soon, I'm gonna read this soon.
I really want to read Vicious. That one I bought for my birthday, and you love that book, and I just like really, it's just been like calling me, you know. So that one I really want to read. I really need to read A Little Life. My friend's mom loaned it to me, and I have been meaning to get to that book. I've just been a little hesitant because I'm like been told that it will like depress me forever.
Be in a good headspace when you read it. I think you can get through it, but just make sure you're in a good headspace.
So like maybe those two, but we'll see because like I said, I don't know if I'll be ready for A Little Life, but I do want to like read it cuz I don't like keeping a book that someone lent me for too long. Because
I'm
then
the
I just
same.
feel bad. So, and also I hate when people keep my books for too long cuz
Amen.
it's like, okay, you had it for a year and a half, like you're clearly not going to read it. Give it back to me.
Yeah, at that point you're stealing from me.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I got lined up, but yeah.
That's good.
Well, this was so much fun. I
This
had a
was
great time talking
great.
about Bookish This or That. Thank you so much for listening again, and we will see you next time on Let's Talk About Books. Bye.
Bye.